Yo, what is up, everybody? So I wanted to go over this deck quick. I just finished the Elestrals Weekly Tournament 4-0, undefeated with this deck. I also played this deck about a month ago on stream, and I also don't think I dropped a single game with it. Not because the deck is amazingly good, like top tier, it's because the deck, if you don't know you're going against it in a best of one format, you can't play around it, nor can you sideboard against it. So let's go over how this deck works, what makes it so good in best of one, and why it let me go 4-0 in this event. So let's start with the core of the deck. We are running 3 Blazerus. Blazerus is the key to making this deck work. It's a 7 attack for 2 fire. It can attack twice, and that's the important part, is it can attack twice and then it costs 2 fire. So what are we doing with Blazerus? And we're just basically playing a combo deck that is trying to Exalt Flare a Blazerus into play while our opponent has 2 Elestrals, ideally in attack position, so that the combo generally goes, you play Hephaestus, you play Exalt Flare. You Nexus 2 from Hephaestus to Exalt Flare, getting Exalt Flare to 3 fire. Exalt Flare's effect triggers to ascend into a Blazerus. You usually throw a water on it just to tsunami bait or prevent against tsunami. And now your Blazerus has 4 spirits and the ability to attack twice. If your opponent's Elestrals are in attack position, you attack over them for 3, attack over it for 3, and then you special a Trifernal and punch them in the face for 5, doing about 11 damage in one turn off a 3-card combo, which is crazy, but there's ways to stop it. But let's go in the rest of the deck. The majority of the deck is finding combo pieces. So we have 3 Hephaestus. We could run Elechick, but Elechick kind of is slow, and there's a reason I don't run Elechick in the deck. But we'll go, we have 2 Astrabbit. You could probably fit a third one somewhere. Small Tuga to find Exalt Flares. And these 2 bodies are also 5 defense, making them early to stall because we are stalling for a combo. We are trying to dig as deep and as fast as possible to get all of our combo pieces ready to go, and then combo into our opponent and just blow them out of the water in one turn. Again, we have Comagma at a 4-2. It discards a card, draws a card. We're digging again with this card. The rest of the combo, we have to protect it with Helios Chariot Ride. So if we, pass to our opponent, they go punch punch, you go cool draw phase, Helios Chariot Ride, you are free to combo off. So Helios Chariot Ride 3 of is important. Change Prometheus, if you can't find the Helios Chariot Ride, is usually good enough to combo off, but it does heal our opponent, which we're trying to OTK them, 1-turn kill basically, and we do need ways to get over back row, because you notice that we have no back row. And that's important for the deck. We have no back row, and we are trying to bait our opponent's Elestrals to be in attack position, which is part of the reason I don't want to run Elechick, because if we run Elechick and they're playing defensive things like Astrabbit, Maltuga, other searchers, they're just going to play those into defense and not attack into us. We want them to be in attack position, and we want them to attack us directly with their defensive bodies, thinking we're bricking or something or doing something weird, so that on our turn we go Helios Chariot Ride, drop the Blazers, and just combo off. That's literally how the deck works. You just punch for 6 to 11 damage and go from there. Then our backup strategy, because you kind of need a backup strategy when you're running such a weird deck, we have 2 Kinleo, 3 Lavalith. So the Kinleo are great at getting over big threats before we go to combo. So if they have like a Flammoth or something, Kinleo is great at knocking out Flammoths or other big threats they might have, like Cryoverns. And Lavalith is great at popping like Demeter and then swinging over an Equalinx, because Equalinx destroys our kind of sturdiness of the Helios Chariot Ride, Chains Prometheus. So Lavalith is kind of the counter to Earth strategies, where we just use it, pop back row, get ready for combo as well. It's a really good card that way, and we're playing fire, so we're running it. 3 Gorgons, this is specifically to stop things like Equalinx and Pegas from destroying our Helios Chariot Rides and Chains of Prometheus, so that we can protect them for a turn, so that on our turn we can activate them and combo off. Nogs to dig deeper for combo pieces, and 2 Ambrosias, because Ambrosia's just good. It's nice to have them. Some edits I might make to this deck. I might cut an Ambrosia for a Comagma. I might cut Eruption for an Astrabbit. The one of Eruptions here is like, I don't know what to put here. And then you might have seen the one of Hammer of Hephaestus and the Volcanic Forge. So obviously Volcanic Forge, Kinleo, Nexus stuff, relevant. The Hammer is here specifically for the Frost matchup to go against Cryovern, because our Blazers has 7 attack. It can't punch over 2 Cryoverns, so if we give it a Hammer, it gets to 8, and we can go punch, potentially getting over to Cryoverns or Cryoverns plus something else against the Frost matchup. So that's the Hammer is there for. And yeah, so that is the deck. You're just trying to combo off by getting Blazerus into play with Exalt Flare's ability, with a bunch of spirits on it, punching over attack position Elestrals, because again, we're trying to bait our opponents to attack, so we're doing lots of expending to draw, and just going, I have an open board, punch me. And then once they punch you and have a bunch of attack position Elestrals, you go, cool, combo off, slam, slam, ascend to Trifernal, slam again. Hopefully they lose there. If they didn't lose there, they're going to be really low in spirits. Maybe that one of Eruption wins you the game, or you follow it up with like Lavaleth the next turn. You use Trifernal's extra spirits for your counter runes like Gorgon's Gaze on the following turn, and other shenanigans like that can ensue. How do you play against this deck? Because again, I went 4-0 with this deck. There's a few ways you can counter the deck. First of all, water decks. This deck cannot win against Locagon because they go like defense Celestial, so you don't get the piercing damage, and then they heal back up after you try to do Trifernal punches. So that doesn't really work. Foamy stops the combo pretty decently well. We're just going to go, cool, Foamy, and then they have Trifernal play, and it gets popped. So Locagon destroys this deck, absolutely. You can't really do much against Locagon with this deck, except hope that they don't know what you're playing, and that's the surprise aspect of the deck. If they don't know what you're playing, this deck works really well. Additionally, cards that kind of stop this deck in its track. Equal Links, as I mentioned before, will just shred the back row so that you don't have access to protect the combo, because one Shield of Achilles will shut this entire thing down. So if your opponent has Shield of Achilles, Demeter, Equal Links, you're not getting over them anytime soon. You're probably losing that match. Additionally, Spine Nymph. If your opponent has like a Spine Nymph or two in play and you go Blazerus into it now, your Blazerus has 0 attack and it can't do anything. Additionally, as well, things like Lotagon, 8 defense, 7 attackers. Those things make the deck really hard to work. So if you don't get Hephaestus or Hammer, and you're playing against Frost, and they go Cryovern, you probably lost as well there. So there's lots of ways to stop the deck, but when you're going up the deck in a best-of-1 format or a first match, it's almost a free win if your opponent is not prepared for it. Otherwise, if they know what you're doing, they're prepared for it, there's plenty of ways to try to interact and stop you, like playing Elestrals in defense. Legitimately playing Elestrals in defense position and only attacking with maybe one Elestral at a time, so your opponent can't pierce over twice and then punch with a Trifernal for even more damage, mitigates a ton. So if you have 2 defense Elestrals and they go, cool, punch over 2 defense Elestrals, play Trifernal, punch for 5, you still have maybe like 12 spirits and you go Earthquake the following turn, and then you lose at the fire deck. So that's in short the deck. I think it's really fun. It's really interesting. I just want to go over it quick after the tournament. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.